do the mix walkthrough for Closer to You. I'm just kind of getting everything ready for you now. So if I go over to, we could do the entire screen, couldn't we? Let's have a look. Right. Hopefully we can hear this. Let me just double check you can. In that special kind of way, what could I know it's only been a day, but I can't stop thinking about you in that special kind. Right, so what I'll do, I'll play the whole track first, then you've got a bit of an idea, and then we can start looking into what is within the track, what I'm doing to it. Just a bit of a sum of it all there. Yeah, let's have a listen, shall we? Is it too much to want to see you now? I know it's only been a day, but I can't stop thinking about you in that special kind of way. What could I say to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh, what are you doing after work? Do you fancy some dessert? Is there a favorite place you like to go to? We could go to now. What could I say to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh, yeah, 'cause my whole life I've been waiting, but it's you I should be chasing. What's the point in wasting another day? Yeah. What could I say to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh, yeah. What could I say to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh, what more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? So there you have it. So that's kind of what's going on generally. So if I go into, say,
what I'm doing at certain bits. There's certain bits now listening back as well where I'm like, oh, like I kind of feel like I should make that a bit quieter, like this little. This
to get you out today.
That's it. But, I can ad-lib it. Maybe make that a bit louder, a bit more quiet, but it is what it is. Sometimes you've just got to commit. And this actually came together quite quickly. Let me see if I can show you the mix window as well. Bear with me a moment. Share different screen. Let's have a look. Oh. That's okay. Bear with me. This is my first time using this software. Let's just do the entire screen. That's going to be easier, isn't it? Yep. There we go. And that is me. Yes. Let me just double check you're getting that. Content appears when shared. Let me see that you can see that. Bear with me, I'm out. Be right with you. Oh, it just says nothing on stage yet. That's weird. Let's try again. That won't let me even show you my screen. What's going on? What's going on here? Sorry, let me try rejoining. Bear with me. Let me see if I can share my screen with you again. I kind of want to do the entire screen, so will it just let me do that, please? All right, let me try again. There we go. Let me just neaten that up for you a little bit. If I put myself down there. Right. We're in. Okay, let's have a look at what I'm doing then. Should we start with the acoustic? What comes in first?
Is it too much to want to see?
So yeah, I'm doing pretty simple stuff with this. I've actually got it double tracked, but it looks like, yeah, at the start I just wanted it a bit more intimate, so I just had the one at the start.
Can't stop thinking about you.
I've got a bit of room on that. And you can hear some bits kind of dipping in and out there. Basically, I'd sent the mix off to the rest of the band that I play with, and Rich, the sax player, said you could really hear the slides on the acoustic guitar. So I've gone in and done all this automation to try and Let's see if you can hear it if I turn it off. Yeah. It squeaks. Let's hear it with the gain back on. So yeah, it always pays off to do a bit of cleaning up. I've kind of got into the habit of, yeah, even just doing gain automation generally on stuff going in. I've got a de-esser on it to try and get rid of that squeak as well. And then this isn't very typical of me, but I've just run acoustic guitars through this Oxford inflator, and then probably the decapitator, which I use on almost everything at the moment. Oxford inflator I use on a lot as well. I was working with a mix engineer called Marco. I think his second name is Migliani, but I'm not sure for definite. So sorry, Marco. And he went through some of the mixes with me, and I was just doing way too much to some of the tracks. So we got rid of stuff that wasn't helping, and he would just bung like tape simulators on, anything that would just give it saturation and glue it without typically going in and adjusting little bits. And it would just sound much more natural and even. So I kind of got into this habit of just bunging stuff that would smooth the tracks out. So that's kind of what I'm doing here, I guess. Or instead of having this go-to method, just what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, listening to it and applying whatever I feel it needs doing. But usually I'll do something like this. So I reckon what I might have even done is just bung these two on, pan them a little bit for a bit of stereo effect, and then just done all the processing on this bus. So yeah, pretty basic EQ. I've got a bit of dynamic EQ in there, bit of compressing. 2A. I usually use the 3A on acoustics and guitars in general. I don't know why, but this one must have just worked with the 2A in particular. So that's kind of what's going on there. Did I add that reverb back? Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I'm using that Sound City reverb, which I've started using a lot more recently. I quite like it. What else have I got on? A bit of chorus for a bit of width. Oh, I did have a chamber on there, but so when I was doing the mixes for the album, I had the UAD Sparks set, which is a subscription for a lot of the UAD stuff, and I was using this Capital Chambers quite a bit, but I got rid of Sparks once I'd completed the album mixes. I should have frozen that actually, so then that's not an issue. But hell, I ended up buying a lot of those plugins. So if we go to the mix bus, wherever it may be, there it is. I got this, which Marco was using a lot. Oh, it looks like they've added some bits to the bottom here, which I've not seen. It's a new update. But it just makes everything sound so much better. So let's go to the chorus and you'll hear, I reckon you'll hear the difference.
Say,
Let's lead into it.
what could I say
Turn it on and off.
to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh.
It just breathes so much more. Like, everything's a bit clearer. Everything has its own space. And I don't know how it really does that. It's pretty damn good though. It's cool, isn't it? Let me see if anybody's messaging, just in case, so I'm not missing out on anything from anybody. Oh no, it's just me, don't worry. Cool. So Yeah, also, let's look at while we're here with the mix bus. I use this SSL compressor on pretty much every
What could I
mix
say
bus. I've started using the
to
UAD
get
one more
you
recently as well.
out today? What more can I do to get
Yeah, it's just got a nice pump to it. So it's on 3 milliseconds there, and then 0.1 over there. Nice. And then I like to do a bit of mid-side EQ. So this is just something I have set on pretty much every mix ready to go. So yeah, I've got this like as a preset. So I've been going into the tape. I've just got a little notch of something that was bugging me. And then I'll go into this compressor, a bit of mid-side EQ. I was using this Kramer tape, so that's why at one point, so that's why that's on there. The Oxford inflator I sometimes use, and this is a setting that Chad Blake I'd seen use, and he just puts it on every mix and mixes into it. So some people will put those plugins on and then start the mix just as a bit of a shortcut. So then they're not, I guess, applying more processing. And I guess it kind of saves CPU processing power. But I find that's better for, what's it better for? Maybe like heavier, thicker stuff. I don't know how to explain it really. Let's hear it actually. I'm curious.
what could I say to get you out today?
Yeah, so it just muddies it a bit too much for me. This is brilliant. So when I'm doing a lot of demos, I'll put this on, and it's just one of those one knob spices. So literally just lift the knob up and it just mixes it to a decent extent for you.
What could I say to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you?
Sounds really good actually. So I would just kiss it a little bit like that. So that's a good little party trick. And then I've just been using the L2. I think Marco got me onto whacking this on straight away when you start your mix. So then you're mixing at a more listenable level. And that was kind of his philosophy. But I usually just go on the basic and then transparent or modern I quite like as well. But yeah, that's more for listening purposes, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of generally what's going on there. Should we look at the vocal? Let's do it. Where's it come in?
Is it too much to want to see you now? I know it's only been a day, but I can't stop thinking about you in that special kind of way. What could I say to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh.
So I've got a double tracked vocal in the choruses, which is a pretty classic trick. I've not even panned them, but it works quite well. Apparently, I'd heard recently that Stevie Wonder was difficult to double track with because his voice was so on pitch each time, which is pretty wild. But I'm obviously not like that. Where are we? Yeah, and I'm doing these delay throws as well. It always, I feel like putting reverb and delay throws really just makes a mix. I'd seen mastering and mixing engineer Mike Cave, who's based in Liverpool usually. I saw him do a bit of a course or seminar or workshop or whatever, at the Brits Fringe in Manchester recently, and he was basically just talking about how mixes should be dynamic, and I guess this is one of the ways that you would do that. You want it to go on a bit of a journey. Yeah, so I've got these throws going on with, that's just a 16th delay, I guess. So listen. And I won't show you because it's post pan, but we can look at some other bits. So in terms of what I'm doing to that, I'm quite proud of how the vocal sounds with this. So credit to Ben Roberts on the drums, and most of these tracks sounded brilliant off the bat because of Ben, who is also the drummer when I play Limbo Days live shows, and obviously some of these, well, all of these recordings as well for the album. And he seems to just know what he's doing. He's always playing little touches after we've done recording, and he's got his own music as well. I really recommend you checking out, and he does some other artists' work as well. So I've got my kind of gain staging going on, just cleaning up certain phrases to make them a bit louder. I've got a Sheps 73, which is a Neve 73 emulation. I'd heard a lot of people using that for a bit of warmth, and I'll tend to maybe put a bit of colour on as well, so just brightening up in certain places. It's not really doing much though. Yeah, your basic, just removing bad sounds out of the vocal.
I know it's only been I know it's only
Oh my
been
god, can you hear the difference? That's why it's so important to just go in and clean shit.
I know it's only been a day.
Wow.
I know it's only been a day.
Jeez. I wonder what we recorded with. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, and then the 76. De-esser to get rid of some S's. And then I've just bunged all the vocals into then a 2A to smooth it out. Love this Soothe plugin. I'm on the Vocal Rescue Mix Bus preset there just to clean everything up.
I know it's
Let's have a listen bypassed.
I know it's only been a day. I know it's only been a day.
Yeah, it just has a bit more space to it. I might have to save this vocal chain. I quite like it. An exciter. So what exciters would do, if you don't know, they would add harmonics mostly in the higher end, and I guess kind of give those tracks a bit more space in the more listenable areas to the ear. So that's kind of what that's doing. It's like imitating harmonic frequencies. That's what I've heard anyway. So that's kind of what that's doing. So say if I want a bit more brightness, but not wanting to add too many frequencies, that's quite good. Another 2A to smooth out again. A bit of, I guess, serial compression, I think they call it. Smoothing out again with the decapitator. Sorting out a few frequencies that were bugging me.
I know it's only been
Mostly dynamic EQ there.
I know it's only been a day.
Yeah, so that gives it a nice bit of control, doesn't it? And then, yeah, the Oxford inflator, kind of rounding it out. And then more decapitator, which is kind of doing...
I know it's only been a day.
Parallel distortion at this point. It's just a little bit wet underneath it. And then I guess I've put a gain plugin on to boost, say, like the choruses or mostly sections. So the first gain plugin is usually just sorting out little phrases, and then the last one in the chain is sorting out sections. So that's what's going on there. And then I tend to do a good bit of bus sending with my vocal. Well, most things, to be fair. So I've got that going to the room as well. So everything feels like it's played live together. It's the same room as the acoustic guitar. I've got a 16th delay with a bit of chorus on, so it kind of blends it a bit more. Just to, I guess, give it a bit of room, kind of space. I'd heard, what's his name? It's Tarek Musa from, he was in Spring King, but he's got a project called Dead Nature now. And I recall him talking about how he loves using delays as opposed to reverbs, which I kind of understand because then you've not got reverb taking up the space all the time, but the delays just give that illusion of space. So that's kind of cool. So I'll actually usually have, if I go into, so this is kind of a template, and I can just throw things on buses to these whenever I want. So my delays, for example, I've got a go-to slap delay, 16th, 8th, quarter, and the 16th will be for a bit of a room effect, maybe for verses or just throughout generally, and then I can throw things with that as well if I wanted. Same with the others, I could throw them occasionally. And then the 8th delays I'll tend to use for choruses, quarters for maybe something a bit more trippy, and then delay, the kind of 5th box I'll play around with and just put something wacky on usually, but it's just the 16th delay on this one. Same with the reverbs. I've got maybe a bit too many reverbs here. Like I don't use them all, and I feel like sometimes having too many kind of clouds things up a little bit. I feel like I'm still working on getting reverb right, but I've got the Valhalla as a whole I usually use. Yeah, that Sound City for my room. There's like a Tom reverb vibe from that I'd picked up from Andrew Sheps. And then plate-wise, using the UAD plate, but I'll use whatever usually. And then I've got a spring reverb if I want more spring on guitars, or I've spoke to Terry Cole from Colemine Records recently asking about what Jerry Quinones, I hope I'm saying his name right, was using on his recordings and his album that he just put out, because I quite like that Chicano soul 60s, but then almost a bit Sinatra kind of vibe. And he said that he was using spring reverbs and chambers on his voice. So that's got me in the mood of putting spring reverbs on just more things now other than guitar. And I think it sounds great. I wonder whether it's because they're usually a bit brighter springs and they just sit on top better with most instruments that are usually quite have a bit of body. So that's a theory. Shall we look at the drums? Of Ben's drums.
I know it's so, but I can't stop thinking about you in that special kind of way. What could I say to get?
So drum wise, like off the bat, it sounds pretty great as is. I kind of want to show you how it sounds without these effects on, but then I feel like I'll miss turning one back on. But I guess we could turn. Let's just dip into what's going on. So I've got general, I guess, kind of cleaning up of mud on most things. So mainly paying most attention to the kick and snare, to be honest. Things are going into the Shep's 73 again, and I'm actually driving it. I wonder what the difference is listening to that. I'm adding EQ as well to them both, but let's hear the difference. Yeah, so I guess it just kind of makes them a bit fatter. It sounds fine either way, but personal preference. And then Marco actually, I think, bung these on. The Studer tape recorder from UAD, and that's just really good. I've been putting this on almost every track recently as well now. So let's hear this on and off. This is on every channel as well, just to mimic recording to tape and how that would glue things together. Let's have a listen. Just adds a bit of brightness, nice harmonics. It's good. Yeah, juicy. That's a good move. So yeah, if you want a bit of a one-stop plugin after you doing your cleaning up, Spung tape emulators on it. Just you can just glue things so nice. It like does a lot of the work for you basically, and just drive the input and output to where you feel it sits right. And then I've probably got it going through a decapitator. Yeah, and I've taken off the wet a little bit. So that's what's going on
But
with
I
the
can't stop
drums.
thinking about
I can't recall whether Harry did the bass for this one or I did. Can't remember. But with seeing an amp sim and DI, I'm guessing it was Harry. And I've done this maybe the other way around to what I normally would, but I've got 2A on the amp and a 76 on the DI. And usually I'd bung the 76 on the brighter sounding things like the amp usually. And the 2A on the more warmer ones. And these two would basically work as your lower frequencies and then your higher ones. And then I'd kind of blend them. And then I guess just do some processing generally. So getting rid of mud, giving space for the kick, bunging through a J37 tape simulator, which is an Abbey Road tape simulator, which I don't normally do on bass, to be fair. Yeah, it definitely warms it up and gets it sitting a bit nicer. Interesting. And then 2A to even out. Go for a 76 again as well. Looks like I thought 80 hertz was getting a bit too much and muddy. It's interesting. And then there's this max bass plugin, bit like how I was using the Exciter before. This does a similar thing, but it's more targeted for bass. It will just add some kind of harmonics. Let's hear without. Yeah, it just makes it a bit more present. And then I've even got that going to the Sound City studio room as well. So everything's kind of sat in that live feel. Quite interesting. I might have to save what room I was using. The background Vox Air room. And it's just, I'm not even using the close, I'm just using the rooms. Cool. I'll have to bear that in mind. So then, that's what's going on with them. Oh, I've got this whirly at a certain part as well, which is kind of cool. Oh, actually, let's look at the organ first.
What could I say to get you
I think that'll just be like a UAB free. Go into a chamber, so there was quite a bit of space coming from that originally. A good bit of a bright going on there. Similar kind of vibe, like Decapitator on the end, the 2A and the 76 I'm using on almost everything. Guitar wise,
what could I say?
Treating everything on a bus. Using a Kramer kind of channel simulator. I've got it on a 60 bump. Which I'd found off, I think it was Chad Blake, and he would do that on his kick drums. But I've obviously just tried it on the guitar for this, and it must have just sat right. It's based off a channel strip that Hendrix, well, when they were recording Hendrix, they would use a lot. So I guess that's why I thought maybe it would be good on my guitars. So that's what's going on there. Got like going to a bit of chorus as well for a bit of width. They're going to the room, the chamber. We've got a play going on with that guitar. 16th delays and a bit of compression. Ooh, I'm running out of power. Bear with me. I wonder what's going on with this. Yeah, so there you go. I've got 3A on there. I've got... I shall come back to that. Anyway. Yeah, so I really wanted some space with that. I reckon you'd hear it there. So I've obviously got it going to some delay as I'm playing it, but then wanted it to lengthen out a bit more, so that's why I put the 8th on. That's in the chorus as well, like I was saying before that I do. I tend to just bung things on that to give a bit more, I guess, take up more stereo field.
What are you doing? I see so.
Yeah, you've got these little licks doing, adding a bit of interest to the verse too.
I see some desire.
I wonder if it's the Kramer tape that's making this wobble. Yes, it is. Wow and flutter. Let's hear that. It's got a bit of wobble to it, but that's really making it wobble. I don't know why I wanted that, but it's cool.
She like to go to, we could go to now. What could I say?
I've got an octave lead line coming in there, and that's same kind of processing going on, but I've got a spring happening with that, and I've crunched the spring a little bit by the looks of it, using that chamber as well.
She like to go, I say, to get you wild today. Oh.
Sounds like we wanted some stereo octave vibe going on here. Pretty subtle. Me and Ben quite like double tracking a lot of stuff and playing around with effects, especially with guitar. It's quite fun to do. And he's got some great pedal we use a lot. It's called a Canyon. It's like a Canyon reverb delay. So if you listen to the Limbo Days Jester song, I think we're playing around with that quite a bit with all those weird delay effects.
Yeah, 'cause my whole life
So a more kind of classic guitar, kind of soul sound, I guess, there. I've got multi-band going on there, which is quite interesting. I was not even doing anything. Yeah, don't know why that's on there. I must have wanted it on at some point. Okay, yeah, and then I've gone for the Soothe to just fix it for me instead of trying to work it out myself. So that's going on there. 2A to even stuff out. I've got a Pultec emulation, adding a bit of color and I guess analog warmth. Nice, quite like that. And then the decapitator probably just to add some harmonics and whatever. I've got that running quite hot to be fair. Yeah, that has a good bit of body and drive to it, doesn't it? Bit of spring, bit of what's going on here? Oh, I'm like pitching it, which I wouldn't normally do, but kind of on each side for a bit of stereo. It's interesting, isn't it? And then go into the room as well.
yeah, 'cause my
I think that might be the UA electric piano. I'm not sure though, but there's some cool sounds on that. I quite like it without that EQ actually, but I guess I've done that to give more room to everything else around those frequencies.
waiting, but it's you I should be chasing. What's the point in wasting another day? Yeah. What could I say?
I've got double vocal there.
Yeah, 'cause my whole life I've been waiting.
I wonder what I throw it with as well. Sounds like a Bung Summit on. What's going on?
Another day. Yeah.
It's just been a natural reverb, which is mad. I thought I would have thrown it into some reverb there that I could hear, but maybe not. Where else have we?
Say,
Drying it up a bit there.
get you wild today.
Yeah, I've taken the Vox plate completely off. Same with the whole.
Say, what more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh, yeah.
And then we've got this section, which when I started playing the tune live, I kind of pulled away from doing this section and just, I think I just repeated the chorus and then we finished there and thought, oh yeah, shit, it might be a bit too, I don't know, maybe I just didn't quite have the confidence at the time to go ahead and do the pitch change, and I just thought it might be a bit too much, but I'm glad we stuck to it because both acoustic and with the band really works. And that was actually a suggestion. Well, I'd already added this part, but then the band were eager to keep that in. So I guess that's kind of what we did. Three acoustic guitars. Okay, one's doing like arpeggios. So properly smashing that one through a distressor. What else have we got? Going for the parallel. The 8th note delay to get it sounding bigger. Probably crunching that through the... I don't know. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, driving that pretty heavy. Yeah, I wonder what it sounds like with all that. Sounds alright, but I just wanted a bit beefier. Yeah, playing with the octave there. I think it was a Boss harmonizer. Yeah, so a more simple guitar and then doing that picked thing like the acoustic was doing before. So just for a bit more emphasis, I guess. And then that takes us into the last chorus.
Say, what could I say to get you?
Keeping the octave lead lines in.
To get a little bit closer to you.
Let me sort that vocal out. It's bugging me. I mean, to be fair, I won't say this anyway. I feel like you could just tweak forever. Everybody needs a deadline. Or else you'll just keep tweaking stuff. And I've just come to accept that it's just a timestamp in time. Deadlines are quite helpful. And we've all got new music that's coming out of us consistently. So we need to work on getting that out next, really, don't we? Which I'm also in the process of doing.
What could I say?
Ben's drumming here is brilliant as well. I'm loving it.
Get you out today. What
Where is it? Yeah.
do to get a little bit closer to you?
That little bit. How could these drums sound? They sound great. I'm barely doing any processing to that as well. Like I was saying before, it's just a bit of EQ cleaning, then a preamp, tape simulator, harmonics. Most of it's Ben getting great sounds. We'd spend a bit of time getting the sounds right. And it goes to show the importance of that and how much that benefits the track. Ben really knows what sounds he's looking for drum-wise and what the track needs. So the whole album, How to Get Up and Fly, he would change his mics, his drum sounds, what cloths we'd use, what drum kits we'd use, cymbals, depending on the song. And it goes to show what an amazing ear he's got as a producer. So that's kind of what's going on there. The distorted solo coming back in one last time.
To get a little bit closer to you.
I wanted a kind of almost wedding ceremony like organ going on there, so that's why I've smashed it into a Hall of Reverb to give that kind of dreamy car taking off into the sunset kind of vibe. So that's kind of what's going on there. And that's closer to you, pretty much. If there's anything you would like to ask, feel free to fire that at me. I hope you found this session valuable. Remember, you can pre-order the debut Limbo Days album, which is wild to say, on Bandcamp now, or you can go to limbodays.com. It has Closer to You, this track we've been looking through, on there, as well as a few others. If you're into your piano rock, bossa nova, soul, it's got a good mix of stuff. When people ask me what my sound's like, I'll say maybe like Tom Misch meets Stevie Wonder meets Elton John at times. So the piano stuff's quite ballady and spacious. The guitar stuff I find to be a bit more either jazzy or funky, but it varies. So I'd say there's a little bit for everybody on the album. And I'm only pressing 50 vinyl of the album. So if you want to be one of those lucky people who get one of those 50, which, you know, could be worth a good amount one day, and I'll sign it for you as well before sending off, then you can get that on Bandcamp or through limbodays.com. Should we have a listen through the mix one final time? Let's do it.
Is it too much to want to see you now? I know it's only been a day, but I can't stop thinking about you in that special kind of way. What could I say to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh, what are you doing after work? Do you fancy some dessert? Is there a favorite place you like to go to? We could go to now. What could I say to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh, yeah, 'cause my whole life I've been waiting, but it's you I should be chasing. What's the point in wasting another day? Yeah. What could I say to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh, yeah. What could I say to get you out today? What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you? Oh, yeah. What more can I do to get a little bit closer to you.
There you have it. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I've been Elliot, also known as Limbo Days. Hope you have a lovely week and found this valuable. If you want me to run through any of the other tracks on the album or that I've released, or just want to know anything else about any of the mixes or anything I do, then you can contact me at Limbo Days on any social you like. Have a lovely